it do, oh Ron?
What up, sis? What's goody over there?
What's up? I see we got my people up in here. What's up, Dreamer? What's up, Rabby? Those are my folks right there. That's my twin. Cyborg
What up,
Rabby is my
people?
twin.
What up, people? Y'all, please excuse me because I have to come off my phone today. I got Wi-Fi issues going on in the house. The people got to come out in a few days to get it straight. You can see I'm on my phone. I got headphones. This thing is feeling kind of odd and strange, but when the call is made, you must show up, and we show up, and I am still here. And Malik will be in shortly. So, what up, CDL? What's good, sis?
What's up? I'm checking out your Constantine mask right there.
Cons and dons all day, baby. Like, please, y'all, if you haven't checked out the site, go to www.consandons.com. See what we're doing. We got some all new interviews coming up, all new materials. So check us out at Cons and Dons, because that's what we do. We conning, we dunning, and we making it happen over here. You know what I mean? We in them streets, we about them streets, we about this business. So check us out. CDL. CDL.
Yeah. So, welcome to the sit down where the truth is told and real stories unfold. Make sure you like, share, um, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're viewing from Facebook, please hop over to the YouTube channel at some point and like, share. So, I got a lot of good feedback from our topic last week when we talked about colorism and educationism, my new word.
Educationism. I love it.
Educationism. Uh, yeah, so tonight, and Malik should be here shortly, hopefully. Um, he's always caught in traffic, usually at this time. And with the pandemic, we never know when there's traffic and when there's not traffic. They open and shut down every other week. So, um, anyways, we
Hey,
have a
sis,
guest. Yeah.
to the connote, is that the Quinones family in the Bronx or the Ramos family?
The guest.
No, the ones in the Bronx, our day ones in the BX with the two
Oh,
sons.
Santos.
Quinones.
I don't know the last name. I just know her by Santos. Her name is Lady
Okay,
Bird. She doesn't look like she's in here yet.
okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll
I'll let
talk
you know
about
if
it.
she
Let me
come
know when they
in.
tap in. All right, cut it
Absolutely.
off. Talk about it.
Yeah. So y'all, tonight we have a special guest. Um, Someone I'm proud to call one of my friends, and I'm gonna let him introduce himself because I think he can tell you who he is better than I can. So, with no further ado, as them other people say, let me introduce our guest.
Live coming to the stage.
Yeah.
What's
What's
good,
up?
everybody?
What's up,
What's going
Diesel?
on? How you doing?
Hey Diesel, can you adjust your camera a little bit so we can see your whole face? Because I'm just seeing a little bit. Maybe it's just me. Oh, there we go. There we go. Come on up a little bit, brother. Let the people see that handsome brother over there, that king over there. All right.
So for y'all, this is Diezel Ramos out of the Bronx. No, yeah, the Bronx. All my people are from New York. I don't know how that happened, so I get them all confused. What's up, Rico James? So tell the people who you are, Mr. Ramos.
Well, my name is Diezel Ramos. I'm 44 years old. I'm a former five-time world powerlifting champion, turned actor, voiceover artist, producer, executive producer, director. Own my own production company. I've been in
Right,
over
right,
104, 105 productions in the last 9 years so far in my career.
right. Well, congratulations to that. Ain't nothing like seeing a successful black man in America.
That's right. That's
Thank you. I
right.
appreciate that.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know, I invited you to the show for many reasons. One, like I just said, there's nothing better than seeing a successful black man in America. Especially in these times. There's so many people of color that have many successes, and we've talked about even in other shows of ours about, people of color who were a part of most inventions, right? But they don't get the recognition that they deserve, or that we deserve to even learn about, right? So
Right.
it's important for us to highlight successes, um,
That's right.
in these times, and it's really important for our viewers to see. And there's a lot of viewers, most of the viewers know, our whole panel, myself, Oran, and brother Malik, we're all formerly incarcerated, and he's wearing that mask, cons to dons, in reflection of an organization that he and Malik started, um, highlighting the successes of people who were formerly incarcerated and have now changed their life and are doing things for the community and the betterment of their families and the people, So we always applaud that. With that being said, do you mind telling us a little bit about your background before you got famous? Or were you just born famous?
It's kind of a little rough, rugged one, but yeah, I don't mind. I'm like very transparent when it comes to like interviews and stuff like that. So I was, like I said, born and raised in the Bronx. My mother is Italian, my dad's Puerto Rican and black. I never met him. He ran away from my mom before I was born. He didn't want to deal with an interracial baby. We couldn't handle it or whatever. So, the trials and tribulations of that alone, growing up without a dad, was enough of a struggle. From the age of 8 till I was 10, I was molested by my mother's husband's brother. He molested me until I was for 2 years. Um, my mom was on drugs and all that. She was a crackhead. I'm not ashamed of saying that because she was. She's not that no more, but she was then back then. She abandoned me when I was 11 years old. I lived in New York in the streets, going from group home to group home in Manhattan. Eating out of garbage cans in Manhattan. Can you imagine a little 11-year-old kid not having nowhere to go and sleeping on trains and buses, afraid of what's going to happen to him? You know what I mean? Jumping from home to home. I joined the Latin Kings when I was 13 because I had no structure. So they took me in. They were like pretty much my family. Got myself caught up in a situation where I committed second-degree involuntary manslaughter when I was 14. It was a gang fight. I didn't know what I was doing. I actually literally blacked out. I was kicking some guy's head against a brick wall. I shattered his skull. When the cops got me, they asked me what I was doing. I didn't even, I was so far from reality, I didn't even know what I was doing at the time. So they gave me, and the judge sentenced me to 9 years, second-degree involuntary manslaughter because of my age. Way back then, I was the first kid sentenced to Rikers Island. They wanted to make an example out of me. So they put me in protective custody until I was 18 years old. And when I was 18, they put me in general population. And for 1 year, I was in general population. Then they transferred me to Rahway on my outtake. And I remember the leader of the Land Kings saying, he's like, when you go to Rahway, the first person that looks at you sideways, you make sure you knock them out because those are lifers in Rahway. They'll do anything to try to get you to stay longer because they ain't got nothing else better to do to try to ruin everybody else's chances of getting out on the outside. So I knocked some dude out, put me in a hole for 30 days. After the 30 days was up, my outtake was done. They let me go. I was on parole for 4 years. I decided to move out of there to get myself out of New York for a little while. So I moved away from there. I moved to South Jersey, Ocean City, New Jersey. Because if I went back to New York, I know if I went back to the Bronx, I'd have got killed or put in prison for the rest of my life. So I had to come with a plan. So I moved to South Jersey, met my baby's mom. We had a child together. My epilepsy flared up really bad. So I couldn't work anymore. So my baby's mom was like, instead of sitting home getting fat, why don't you start going to the gym? So I started going to the gym. And I met my mentor to this day, great guy. He was like, you come here every day, but you do stuff, and then you leave. You don't know what you're doing. I'm like, I really don't. I'm just in here just to try to buy time to do something and try to get some kind of feel. And he's like, you're a pretty big dude for 19 years old. If you follow what I say, I promise you'll win a world championship. And I'm like, world championship in what? Powerlifter. So, this kid from New York, I already got an attitude. So I'm not going to believe nothing that nobody tells me. So I said, you know what? I'll give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? So I started training in 1996. 1999, I went to Atlanta, Georgia. I won my first world championship. So, and then after that, I won 4 more. I became from 2001 to 2007, I was the strongest power. I was the strongest bench presser in the United States. Could nobody beat me? Nobody. Even in the United States or all over the world in my weight class, no one. I literally destroyed anyone that competed against me, hands down, without a doubt. So I got tired of competing, and the training is rigorous. There's so much training. You can hurt yourself and all that. I got hurt twice. I had 2 surgeries. So I decided to hang it up, stop competing, and I wanted to do something else in my life. So my mentor approached me and said, "You always wanted to be an actor. Why don't you just start there? You always want to do something big, right? So you try that." I auditioned for something on Craigslist when Craigslist was good back then. As an actual role, I had like 7 lines. I played, I think, a hitman that got killed in the middle of the film, and the rest of that's history. So
You mentioned something for all the people out there that don't know. Rawway is a maximum security prison in the state of New Jersey. And one of the things you said, well, you said many things, brother, but one of the things that you mentioned or that you said is that you weren't afraid, or you're not afraid to admit or mention that your mom was on crack. You wasn't
you
afraid
know,
to mention that you had a daddy who just left his kids and didn't care and left his kids. Um, and so often, or too often, we as African Americans, Latinos, and people of color, we view the things that happened to us in our past as a bad thing. And we hide that pain. And we internalize it, and it becomes like guilt. It's what did we do wrong for the things that others have done to us. But just by you being so brutally honest to be able to mention that, and everyone out there who's viewing today, right now, and listening, please, if you know someone who's going through something, if you've been through something, and you're still holding it, seek help. CDL is here. She's a therapist. Or speak to someone that can help you unpack these things and get these things out, because the longer you carry them, they actually fester and they hurt. And then you take that out on someone else later on in your life. So I applaud you, brother, for those are just 2 of the things you mentioned. And I applaud you for being honest and being brave enough, because so many people have went through so many things, and we know these people, but they're just afraid to admit it. And look at what it probably has done to their lives and their families. So salute, and we appreciate that. So, right quick question. Can you tell us just a few of the movies that you appeared in and the actors that you worked alongside,
okay.
as well as the
It's
ones
a
you
long
produced?
list.
Well, let's get it in. We got a long time. We got some
It's a
time.
long list.
We have some time.
Well, I worked with The Rock 3 times. I worked with Kevin Hart twice, Denzel Washington twice, Christopher Walken once, Joe Montana, Sharon Stone, Rosie Perez, uh, Will Ferrell. Uh, I worked with Samuel Jackson,
Oh shoot.
Scarlett Johansson.
Powerhouses.
I worked with Henry Cavill and Superman. Uh, like I said, some of the the list is huge, but
So what movies were you in?
oh, okay. I was in The Dark Knight Rises. I was in G.I. Joe Retaliation. I was in Central Intelligence. I was in The Wedding Ringer. I was in Get Hard. Um, Guardians of the Galaxy. Super Man of Steel. Iron Man 3. Um, um, Thor Ragnarok.
Someone,
God.
someone in the chat said they remember you as the cop in Bad Boys.
Yes. How? How did they? Wow. Yeah, I was.
They recognize you.
Yeah, I was in. Yeah, I was in Bad Boys for Life too. So yeah. Yeah. It's so many. It's kind of hard to because I don't look back. I do the role, but I never go back and watch the actual scenes I'm in. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, but the list is tremendous. I'm going to be in the new
You
Halloween
work.
Kills coming up.
We can't hear you.
What, me?
No, I'm telling Orion. I can
Oh,
barely hear Orion.
Can you hear me now?
the new Halloween Kills. Kamisawa. I'm going to be in. I was in Coming to America too. Like I said, this list is like tremendous. Like I could be on here forever telling you the whole list. I would have to look at the actually my whole bio on IMDb to be like, yeah, that. But yeah, when I was in a to be in my career wise, I've been in over like 110 productions and still counting. Some credits that I haven't even gotten yet. So that guy's gonna see a whole lot of me for the next, I'd say, 3 or 4 years because I'm extremely busy, as I told Lady D not too long ago. I'm booked for a lot of stuff already, and I'm just keep getting booked more for more and more and more work. So, you know,
So before we get into you and your publishing company and what production company, what is you do, I need to ask you a question, brother. Be honest, brutally as possible. How was it working with The Rock? Tell me about The Rock. Is he an arrogant,
okay,
cocky
sorry.
guy? Is he
Let me give
humble?
you a small story about Dwayne. It was cool because
Dwayne, go ahead.
I remember going to
Uh
Arizona.
oh, it's gonna be juicy for the
I
man
was in GI
Dwayne.
Joe Retaliation, and I was one of the soldiers that got actually blown up when Cobra came in to destroy GI Joe. Uh, so we was waiting for the scene, but The Rock had a trailer, like I don't know, it was like maybe 20 feet from us. So we was sitting there hot as heck because we had the whole military tactical gear on. So they were like, "Yo, that's Dwayne. He just came out of his trailer." So one of the dudes was like, "Yo, I dare one of y'all go over there and walk by him." So nobody did anything. I'm like, you know what, y'all, guys, yeah, I'm gonna go walk by him. So I walk by The Rock. He's out there. He's on the phone. He hangs up, and I walk by him. He was like, "Hey, you know who I am? You just gonna walk by
What?
me?" And I'm like, "You're Dwayne. No big deal, dog." And I just turned for 2 seconds and turned around and said, "Psych, what's up, Rock?" And he was like, "Oh, you a smart
Okay, I
ASS."
know
And I'm
that's
like,
right.
he said, "You a smart ASS." And I'm like, "Nah, dog. I'm just, yeah." So he said, "You know what? Yo, I'm about to take a workout. You look like a big dude. You want to come inside and take a workout with me?" I'm like, "What?" "Yeah, sure." So when we're in this trailer, I trained with The Rock for 2 hours in this trailer.
Wow.
And he gave me some advice about acting, about my look. He was like, "You got to look. You know what I mean? Use everything that you can to your advantage. You know what I mean? Make sure you do everything you possibly can to hold your integrity high in the business because one thing about the industry, if you hear anything bad about yourself, that'll bring your stock down. So I make sure that I don't do anything that'll hurt my stock in the industry at all. I help everybody. I'm always punctual on set. I always know my lines. I never give anybody a hard time. I take direction very well, and I take criticism to make my character better. So you will never hear anything about me on set that's negative ever because I'm not that person.
Someone said in the chat, it sounds like CDL. She'll just keep walking. That is me. I'm like, whatever, Rock, peace.
Yeah, that's bad. But I had to say it because it was funny because then all of a sudden when I came back out, all the extras was like, "Yo, what did he tell you? What did he say? What did he?" I said, "Y'all should have went by him or walked by him too and found out. Then I'm not telling you nothing." So I was just like, I held that like on my chest, like, yeah, no, I'm not
who's
telling you
your
what he told me.
who's your favorite actor to work with?
Christopher Walken. I'm sorry, Christopher
Oh,
Walken,
okay.
Samuel Jackson, Denzel Washington. Because
Christopher
Denzel
Walken,
Washington is
T3.
more of a professional actor. He'll give you advice, and he's very friendly, but he's very respectable. So you can't just talk to Denzel any kind of way. You know what I mean? You can't just Samuel Jackson. You can just say like whatever. Like he's that nigga. Like you can say whatever. He's the one that called me out when I was on set with him once. You know what I'm saying? He said, "I remember him. There's only one Diezel that I've ever met, and that's you. And I will not. You can't be forgotten." So it was cool with that, but. Christopher Walken has been my idol for a long time. So when we did God's Behaving Badly, I played a cop. He landed in the middle of a street, and I told him sir, you cannot be in the middle of the street. You're blocking traffic. And he says to me, how dare you speak to Zeus in that manner? It was just one of those things where it was just insane. Like, I would never, even though it was like 3 lines between both of us, it was just insane. I would never forget that. I hold that high. Because Christopher Walken's like, yeah, he's really good. He's a really talented actor.
We can barely hear you, Omar. I don't know. Maybe it's
he's
the
a big
mask. It
deal.
might be the mask.
He's a big deal because the first time I really remember Christopher Walken was the King of New York.
Yeah. I was a fan from him. I was a fan of his from that movie on. Like, he played that role. He played Frank White like he played Frank White. Like,
He played Frank White, didn't he? Yeah, and I always kind of liked his movies, you know, because he has this kind of gritty but mysterious but crazy but you don't know what way he's gonna go type of look. But he you know, he's a hell of an actor. So, and I'm glad you got to work with him and that you hold him in such regard. You know, what I mean, as an actor. So, and for you, you know, stepping by the Rock like that, because a lot of people will be intimidated. I'm not going over there. That's the Rock. You come on, I'm just an extra on the damn set. You trying to get me booted off already? I'm not saying you were an extra, but I'm trying
see,
to
the
get
funny
my
part is with
acting
me.
career on.
Yeah, but the funny part with me, when I meet them on set, like I met
Right.
Ice-T, Vincent Pat, all of them, I'm not that dude starstruck to be like, oh my God, like, because they
Right.
get that all the time. So when you treat them like they're just a human being, you get a better reaction from them than you do. And you're like, oh my God, like, I've been your fan. Like, that's not me. There's plenty of them that do
Right.
that, but I'm not that dude. Like, I don't do that. That's just not me.
That's right. That's
I
right.
have a question. So, I've had quite a few conversations with you, and what I can say is the fact that you come from, the streets and prison and the street, of hard knocks, and then becoming this world renowned powerlifter, to being an extra on some sets and running into some actors that you grew up watching, to being famous yourself. How do you remain so humble? What is the art of your humility? Because you are a very, very, very humble brother.
Because you take nothing for granted. Like when I was powerlifting, that's not my power that I had. That's not the strength that I built up. That was God giving me that power to become successful as a powerlifter. Same thing as being an actor. You don't take it for granted to the point where a lot of these actors no longer work because they let their egos and their head get all in the way. And now nobody want to work with them because of that reason. No, I'm that person that I cherish what I've got. I love entertaining people. I love hearing people say, yo, I saw you in this. It's the best thing ever. I don't take anything for granted. I treat everybody with respect, no matter who it is. You could be 200 years old. You could be 1 year old. You're still going to get the same respect. You know what I'm saying? I care about everybody. I love everybody as individuals, period. So as long as you keep yourself grounded and don't let this thing overtake you to the point where, oh, you think you're bigger than the production, or you need to tell the director that I think I could do this, or I should do this, or I'll walk off set. No. Just take everything as you're supposed to and just treat everybody how you're supposed to be treated in the industry and in life in general, and you're going to be fine. I don't let this stuff get to me because, you know why? Just like it was given to me, it can be taken away.
Absolutely.
You know?
So, did you, backtracking a little bit, when you got out of prison, was it difficult for you to stay away from your family, the Latin Kings, or
Yeah.
did you still interact?
No, I separated myself. As soon as I left, like when I got out of Broadway, right, I separated myself because I said either one or two things going to happen. Either I'm going to stay like and functioning as a Latin King, or be back where I was or die, or I could just like act like I was never a part of them and move on with my life. Like I still have the tattoo here on my arm. I still got the crown. So it's not like it, you know what I mean? And I leave that crown. They said, why don't you cover it up? I leave it as a reminder of where I was to where I am now. That way I know I never want to go back. See what I'm saying? No matter what. So if I run into a king that sees my crown, if I'm wearing a T-shirt showing my arms off, we'll 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 knowledge cipher together. But that's as far as it goes. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not active in, no. No, I have a daughter that looks up to me. I have people that look up to me. I can't revert back to, you know what I mean, in the gang life. I just can't do it. You know what I mean? But I do acknowledge that I was. So I was 19 years old. I'm 44 now. So if
Right.
they
No.
wanted to
Yeah.
take me out, if they wanted to, like Kings want to take me out, they would have done it a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Did you experience a lot of politics in prison?
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, lot of like sides and all that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have to, Latin Kings got to stay with Latin Kings, and, you know what I'm saying, Aryan nations stay over there, and, you know, we didn't cross paths, because if you did, it was good. You know what I'm saying? And me being a young buck, because they call me a young buck, because when I got general population, I was only 18 years old. You know what I mean? I was in PCs from the age of 14 till I was 18. See what I'm saying? So I was around all that stuff. We hear noises and dudes getting raped and this, that, and the third, but I never saw that, because they had me in a place where I was immune to that. But you could hear it still. So when I got out of there, they were like, "Oh, we putting you in general public. You're 18 now. You're on your own." So when I got out, when they see a pretty, because I don't consider myself a pretty boy. I'm not. I'm average looking. But when I was younger, green eyes, I was ripped. And as soon as they see you, you know how that goes. Green eyes, you're Puerto Rican, dudes look at you like, "Oh, yeah, we getting him." You know what I'm saying? The only thing that saved me was being a Latin King. If I wasn't one, it would have been a different scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
So backtracking again, you mentioned about your mentor got you into the powerlifting, right? And he's also the one that mentioned to you about acting.
What powerlifting per se? You mean?
Yes, no,
No.
is he the
No. He
same
said
one
your.
that mentioned to you about acting? Your mentor
Okay.
that got you into powerlifting. Was he the same person that mentioned to you about acting?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
My
so
mentor. He's one of the greatest. Like, he's one of those people that train. He trains like Olympic athletes. Like, he's trained people in the NCAA. He's trained football players. He's trained Dallas Cowboys, Eagles, and never gets any recognition for it. So when he trained
oh,
me, I didn't realize the scope of how great he was until after the fact. So he's like the dad I never had. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he'll tell you flat out. When I bench pressed 500 pounds in a competition, he cried like he was my dad. Like, he was just overjoyed that the success that he helped me attain. You know what I mean? So when I decided not to powerlift no more, he knew that I was still up for great things, and he said, because I did mention about being an actor long ago, and he was like, "Why don't you just try acting and see where that takes you?" And look where it took me.
mm,
And
So
I
when
give him
you.
all the credit in the world.
So when you were powerlifting, are you still powerlifting?
Yes, I am. I have to compete one more time. I don't want to, but I have to. It's
what is
forced
that?
upon me, but I
Why?
can, I
Why do
can
you
do
have
it.
to? Tell the people why you have to.
Okay, well, I was approached by the Powerlifting Federation the beginning of the year, and they said that they approached me and asked me, did I want to compete again? And I said, I haven't competed since 2008. Like, that training is intense, and I don't think that I could put my body through it again. And he says, well, we want to induct you into the Powerlifting Hall of Fame, but you need 6 world titles. I said, wait a minute. You mean to tell me 5 is not enough? He's like, no. He says, you need to win one more. If you can win one more, by the year 2023, we'll induct you into the Powerlifting Hall of Fame. And I'm like, so I'm forced to do it. I don't want to do it, but I want to do it too. That'll be an icing on the cake for that part of my life, powerlifting wise. That'll be a long lasting legacy to be in a Hall of Fame or anything. But to be in a Powerlifting Hall of Fame, for the rest of your for the rest of your legacy, and to have that on top of everything else that's going on in my life, I said I'm gonna suck it up and I'm just gonna go ahead and train to compete.
So when do you do that? When is that? When's that last competition?
I compete in June in Philadelphia for another world title.
Hey, you guys. So if you guys haven't checked, well, I'm sure you haven't yet because you didn't know he was here. But YouTube, look on YouTube later for Diezel Ramos, and you'll see him literally pushing a diesel truck, like a diesel truck. Like, oh yeah, I guess you wanted to live up to your name, Diezel, right? Like,
Yeah. I didn't think that I was gonna be able to do that, like push a semi truck. Like, who does that? But literally, I'm 44, right? This is even the better part that I want to get to the people out here that think they can't do something because of a disability. Look, I'm legally blind in my right eye because I'm diabetic and I didn't catch it in time. I have spinal stenosis, spinal degenerative disease. I have a brain injury, and I have epilepsy. And I still could leg press 3,500 pounds. I could bench press 500 pounds. I could shoulder press 500 pounds. And I could push a semi truck with just my body. So I never want to hear anyone with any kind of issues or ailments saying they can't do it because there's no such thing. The only thing that's stopping you from achieving your goal is yourself. And once you get over that hump, you can accomplish anything. You can do whatever you want to do in life. Trust me, I'm a living example of it.
that's right. That's what I'm talking about.
Motivation and inspiration. I love it, bro. I love it, brother. You know what I mean? You're definitely, like, real talk. You definitely is inspiration and motivation. It's just the way you put it out there. Like, people be complaining a lot. I don't have this. I can't do that. But you don't put yourself to it. I understand that some people may have missing limbs or blind in one eye or totally blind. But we all have talents, and once you find what your talent is and you push yourself, you know what I mean, you can become successful, and at the same time, you become an inspiration to millions and motivate millions and millions of people because listen to
My,
your
my mitigating factor for all that,
right.
I'm sorry, my mitigating factor for all this is that you don't want to live your life, grow old, like 60 or 70 years old, and look back and say, I could have did that, but why didn't I do it?
Right.
Right? Like, nothing should hold you back. No one or nothing in your head should hold you back from being able to do or accomplish anything you want in your life. That's it. Like,
Well, King, coming from where you
When I
come
heard
from,
Lady D's story, right? I'm gonna produce her movie. When she's done with her book, I'm turning her book into a feature film. So everybody gets to know her struggles and her all the way up leading to her success. I think that story needs to be told. There hasn't been a story out there like that in years. And it'll so gravitate to so many people on so many levels. She'll touch the heart of at least everybody in the United States that watched that film because we're going to do it so well. But she
well,
needs
she
to have
talked
her story
about it
told
too.
from her struggles to her success. And
Thank you.
I'm honored that she says yes, that I can produce a film. So yeah.
That's what's
So I
up.
don't know if y'all caught that. They about to make a movie out of me. I told
We
everybody a
got it.
long time ago. I'm gonna
What's
tell you a story real quick. In 2008, they did an interview with me or of me at the university that I was at. And you know how sometimes when you're speaking, like stuff will come out your mouth, and then you look back and be like, where the hell that come from? It just
Mhm.
came. At the end of this interview, and Miss Rose, who's in the chat, um, read the interview on her podcast, which brought me to tears. But there was something I said at the end, and I wasn't even, that was 2008. It's 2021. A whole lot has happened since then,
Right.
negative and positive. But one of the things I said at the end of that interview was this: I may be one person, but you'll know me when I'm done. Now, I don't know what possessed me to say that. I had no idea what I was even talking about or what was to come. But then I listened to someone like you that I meet on happenstance who says, check this out. Your story's powerful. I have a production company. Can I produce your life? You know, a movie about your life. And I'm about to get teared up right now.
We're gonna get you on the big screen, sis. That's what's happening.
And
Come on with it.
it's not about being famous. It's not about being seen or even known. It's about those who know me know the only thing that matters in life is that I can bring hope to somebody and inspire somebody else. So to be able to do that on that type of platform is profound to me. Um, of course, the idea of feeling not worthy enough, there's a whole bunch of other people with stories out there, but I don't even have time for that because I clear that, the God is the Father and I just need to follow directions. And when I get in the way, everything gets screwed up. So I need to, just fall in line. So I don't question it too hard,
Right, right.
But I appreciate you so much. And, yeah, I don't even know what else to say. Except for I've been working every night to get this book done.
Well, from my knowledge, you was already approached to
Yes.
make your story into a miniseries, and I said to you, why drag it out? Like, why drag a miniseries out when you could just condense it all, and they'll get your story from point A to B without any stops? Like, seriously. So to be able to put a 2.5 hour movie together about your life and be intriguing from point A all the way to the end credits, when you see the end credits, and after the end credits you'll see a silhouette or a picture of you sitting down at a desk with your glasses on, looking at the audience, smiling, and then enjoying and basking in the success, and you're actually looking out into the crowd, and they're appreciating the person that you are and where you came from and what you're about to do, what you're about to accomplish. That is the greatest gift you could give anybody, especially with the issues that are going on, what's going on in the world today, and people down on themselves, and people, this whole racism thing, and everything that's going on. To them to be able to see a success story like yours is a gift, and that's something to be cherished for the rest of eternity, pretty much. So,
Since we got to get that book done.
Oh,
So
I've
this
been
man can
writing
do what
every
he
day. I'm
does.
almost done,
All
actually.
right. So
Oh
that
yeah,
man can do what he does. All right.
absolutely. Speaking of that, at what point of your career, and because this ain't about me, um, what point of your career did you decide, and when did you start your own production company?
well, I started my production company last January, and the reason I started that is because studios like Universal, Lionsgate, MGM, Fox, all these people, they treat actors 9 times out of 10, uh, like not like people, like
Expendable.
product, like 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 they're like if you have an air conditioner in front of you, they treat like something like a possession. Like, you know what I mean? They treat them with no respect. A lot of these times, that's why these actors quit, because they can't take the politics of being in the industry. My production company, right, is going to give them a opportunity to do a movie, to bring themselves back into the fold, right? If they want to, or just do one more movie and just call it quits. You know what I mean? But to treat them with respect, right? The highest integrity, with morals and upstanding, right? And if they choose to want to do more movies, they could work with my company and we could work something out. But if they want to do a one and done, we can do that too. But I just want to give everybody the equal opportunity, because look, Hollywood is big, okay? There's a union called SAG, right? So I figured this: if all the actors and actresses came together and worked together, we won't need SAG. Why would we need SAG if
Mm-hmm.
we all came together and worked as one? No, SAG is built, set in to keep A-listers and B-listers up here, right? Because in all actuality, we all have a grade in our acting in the industry, right? So there's A, B, C, D, E. Even an E list. Can you believe that?
Wow, I didn't know.
So
Didn't know.
yeah, there's all the way down. So A is the highest. B, B,
Mm-hmm.
C, D, E. E is the lowest you could possibly get. Okay, but they shouldn't be these things to separate everybody, right? And make anybody feel better than the other person, because that's all it's doing. You know what I mean? An A-lister thinks he's better than a B, right? A C-lister thinks he should be an A-lister, but he's not. A D-lister is trying to break his way up to a C-lister. It shouldn't be that, but that's how they got us going. See what I mean? So I want to just give everybody a different alternative and a different like feel of making movies, videos, documentaries, or even short films. You know what I mean? I just want to be that different production company. That's what I'm striving to be. So,
So SAG stands for Screen Actors Guild, correct? Something like that?
so yes, yes, sir. Screen Actors Guild, yes.
Right. And that's been a discussion or at least a topic amongst some actors over the years. Just as you're saying, why don't y'all come together and build your own thing? Because when you
You know
put
why?
people in a category, you have
Yeah, but you know
A-listers.
why?
Of course,
You know why, right?
no, I'm gonna let you explain it, but let me finish my point. I'm gonna
Okay.
let you explain it because you're the expert. I'm not in Hollywood, but damn it, I'm human. When she get on the screen, damn it, I'm driving the car. But anyway, um, so you have the A-listers, right? And of course, the A-listers think they're better than the B-listers, and all the way down. And that's just like society as it is today, with you know African American versus white, rich versus poor, this person versus that person, you know, and society does it well. It finds this way and has this way of categorizing people and putting them in a box, so to speak, and saying, some CDL, you're better than Oron, and brother, you're better than CDL. You shouldn't look at her in that kind of way to want to do make a movie out of her, because look where you are. But I applaud you for being a brother that's humble, a man of character, a man that is not just conscious but cares and is passionate. So when I think about, like you're saying, about the SAG or the Screen Actors Guild and how they categorize people, it's a damn shame. But we see that happen every single day in just general society and public. But I'm going to let you explain now why that is. So why is it, brother? Why is it A, B, and C?
Okay, so it's money.
Mm-hmm.
So A-listers command more money. B-listers, depending, all right? But
Mm-hmm.
C and D are the ones that are like straight from the bottom of the barrel. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
get what you get, you know what I'm saying? Deal with it. 9 times out of 10, if you're a D-list actor, you're not making no money whatsoever. Right?
Right.
When you hit that C list, now you're starting to get paper. Not enough to say you can live off this industry for the rest of your life, but just it's a start. But then B and A, then you're on a different tier, money wise. So my thing is with A-listers, when they get like Robert Downey Jr. for Iron Man 3, he signed a 5 point deal, right? So instead of taking upfront money, he took 5% of the film. The film made 500 million. So what did he walk away from? With it, $50 million. Okay, so when you get actors and actresses that make tons of money and they just think they're God's gifts to the whole industry just because of their name, there goes the rift. Because now you've led them to the point where they think they're just better than everybody. Like Bruce Willis. Tell you a story about Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis was in Expendables. He was such a prima donna on set that Sylvester Stallone fired him, right? And hired Harrison Ford to take his place because he was acting like a prima donna. Like he was better than everybody on set. Because his name is Bruce Willis. See, you get actors and actresses in that point. Julia Roberts. Why do you think you don't see Julia Roberts in a lot of stuff?
Right.
Why do you
Very
think you don't
respectable.
see Jennifer Lopez in a lot of stuff? Because they're prima donnas. They just think they're better than everybody else in the industry, and they treat people like trash. And that's the stigma you're gonna get. So when you get to that point, nobody wants to work with you anymore. And that's just God's honest truth. If you see Bruce Willis's work now lately, he does direct to video, which is trash. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Jennifer Lopez, she'll get one movie every 4 years. If she lucky. Same thing with Julia Roberts. You don't hear much about her, do you? No, because that's how they treat. So that's when you get when SAG gives you a title like A list, then your head goes like this. Oh, I'm this my name. But then you got A-listers like The Rock, Kevin Hart, Christopher Walken, Robert De Niro that don't act like that. And they work every other movie you see one of them in it. You see what I'm saying? So SAG actually created that stigma to the point where you think you're better than everybody else, and that's why that's your downfall. Just like Lady D was asking me, how do I stay humble? That's one of the reasons. Because I would never let this industry make myself. I would never think that I'm bigger than the industry or better than anybody else. Because I'm not. I just have a talent God's given me to help entertain other people, and I'm actually good at it. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna say like I'm gonna demand this, or I'm this, or I'm that, or I'm that. I'm not. I would never, ever do that. And when I say if all the actors around the world came together, you think SAG would be needed? No, SAG would be eliminated just like this because there's no need for an actors union right here at all because it doesn't benefit C or D list actors. Or only benefits A and B listers because you get benefits for being in SAG if you're that high on the totem pole. But if you're low, you're paying more out in you're paying more out in I forget the word because you got to pay dues. All right, dues. You pay more out in dues than you do getting paid. You see what I'm saying? So you're paying SAG just to hold a title that you're a union actor, but you're paying more in dues than you're getting paid for work. What sense does that make? All because you want to tell everybody you're SAG? Right. First of all, it costs $3,000 to join SAG. And not many
I got
people
a
are going to come
phone
out of
call.
pocket for $3,000. But when they do, you see them. They don't get no work whatsoever. They think just because you're a SAG actor, oh, I'm going to get more. No, it doesn't work like that. It goes by your talent skill. If you're talented, you're going to get work. If you're a SAG and not talented, you ain't going to get no work. So you're just basically saying you're SAG and paying dues for no reason whatsoever. And that's the problem that I have with SAG. I really do.
So you're producing you have a how many or let me rephrase that. Have you already produced movies with your new production company?
Yes, I have. And I'm producing my very first Powerlifter movie. As a matter of fact, very first Powerlifter movie in the history of cinema. I'm doing it. I'm producing it, starring in it, producing it, and directing. Yes. If you look at the history of cinema, Google Powerlifter movies. You'll see not one, but mine's gonna be the first one.
Am I the only one hearing this? It sounds like it's scrambled. Your voice is
No,
just.
no, it's fine on this end, but I need you to put your mic to your mouth, sir.
Okay, you got the mic. So I got the mic up. Am I the only one hearing the scrambleness and the? Okay, it's back now. Oh, question. Let me ask you a question, bro. Where do you feel? Where did you fit in that ranking? A, B, C, or D?
I'm B.
B.
Yeah.
Great, great. And is that one of the reasons once you had your feelings about SAG that you started your own production company? Said, wait a minute, I know this game. I don't really.
That I just can't stand the way some actors and actresses get treated. I just can't.
Right.
Like I really saw some production companies just treat them. You know what I mean? Like, look, like this is no disrespect to these actors and actresses. I really truly,
Right.
I admire them all. All right, but when you're 72, 71, 80, you don't need to make action films anymore. It's over. It's done.
Arnold.
Like literally, you cut it out. Like you're gonna you're gonna give yourself a stroke, or you're gonna like the arthritis is gonna set in. Stop. Cut it
Sylvester
out.
Stallone.
You know
We
what I
were
mean?
just talking about
Bruce
that. Sylvester
Willis.
Stallone.
Bruce.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, same thing.
Arnold. Bruce. Yeah.
Bruce Willis,
Mhm.
all of them.
Mhm.
Harrison Ford.
Mhm.
Harrison Ford's about to do another Indiana Jones. Nigga, you're 77 years old. Like
Knock it off.
seriously, like for real. Like come on, man. You know what I
Like,
mean? I
they
get.
don't believe in passing the torch, right?
No, that's exactly what it is. Because their name is Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis. You know what I mean? They can't let that go. The action stuff is done. Let it go somebody else now. You know what I mean? Give somebody else a chance to eat on the plate. You know what I mean?
So you're
I'm
doing the
gonna check
first
this movie.
powerlifting movie in cinema. When is it due to be released?
2022. It's going to have a theatrical release in New York City. Very first one
Now,
ever.
what is the difference between theatrical release and cinema release?
theatrical release is a worldwide. It's like the United States. It's like cinema release is like a limited release theaters. Theatrical releases all over the United States.
Oh, okay. Got it. So yours is about to be yeah, and he also has little action figures for the
Yes, I do.
Powerlifter movie.
For Raw Power, yes, I do. I have action figures coming out Christmas
Oh, get
for
out
the
of
movie.
here. Okay.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah,
picture of one. Look just like him too.
For real?
I told her it was just like me. She was like, "No, what?" I sent her a picture of the action figure. Yep, it looks just like me with the do
Man.
rag and everything. Ask her like it has a do rag on. It has everything. Like I got Timberland boots on. Like you did everything like meticulous. My
No
hoodie.
way. I gotta show it to the people.
There it goes. That's it.
Oh, wow.
That's me.
Oh,
I'm an
yeah, I
action
got to
figure.
get, well, I'm going to get
He
one
got
of
his
my
own action figures.
grandsons.
He got his own
Yeah, I
action
stepped
figures.
up. I got my own action figure.
Who would
Hey,
have thought though?
I'm,
You know what's crazy is who would have thought when you were 11 years old, 11 to 14, homeless, and banging with the Latin Kings, that you would actually have your own action figure one day.
Nobody. No one.
You know what I mean?
Malik, this is the good brother, talented. Look, I'm thoroughly impressed. I'm like,
Yeah, I heard
thoroughly
about you.
impressed. I feel like,
I heard about him.
damn it, yeah, we gotta do, damn it, man. But I'm thoroughly impressed, and he's a good brother, man. And just everything you went through, it's like, look where you come from, just like CDO. We call it CDO, just like CDO just said. Who would ever thought? I'm sure you would have never thought at 11 years old you'll go through all the things you went through, family, prison, coming home, leaving the gang life, powerlifting. Somebody said, take a chance. Take a chance. Why don't you act? You acted. You know what I mean? You've been around all these powerhouses, all these major A-list and
Relax.
B-list stars, production
It
companies.
is. It is. In all actuality, you're right. Like it's a true blessing, and then when you take it as such, you know what I mean.
Right.
It keeps coming like full towards you. Like the problem
Right.
is when you think you're bigger than the industry, you let this stuff get to your head. That's the problem. Because that's the beginning of your downfall. So I have too many good people around me. My manager, my agents, they always remind me, never let this industry overtake you. You overtake it. You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what.
Right. But I was saying with everything you've been through, and then your sort of so-called self-described, disability, so to speak. If anyone out there is still using excuses, when everyone watches this show and shares this show, if you are still out there making excuses, this brother right here is the reason why you should look yourself in the mirror, slap yourself, tell yourself to stop lying to yourself, get up off your ass and do it. Look what the man has been through and look where he is today. Brother, man, you have inspired me even more. See, after this here, we're going to talk, and I'm going to go upstairs, sit down. I'm going to be scratching my head like, hold on a second. But in a good way. So I appreciate, no, serious, I really, truly appreciate, you sharing your story because it's inspirational, it's motivational, it's educational, and it's just like gives me this added energy to think a whole lot different, you know what I mean, and feel better. So,
I salute you, man, because before you came on, CDL, the sister Denise, she told us about you. You know what I mean? And I was thoroughly impressed by what I heard. Thoroughly
Appreciate
impressed.
that.
You know what I'm saying? Because to
Appreciate
go
that.
through the fire that we went through in this life, man, and to come out on the other side, man, sane, you understand, with all our faculties intact, and with goals that we're achieving, you understand, it's not a rare feat, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, he just
It's not a
announced
rare feat, man.
he just announced on our show that he's turning my book into a feature film. So I was
Yes,
all
ma'am.
boo-hooing like a little crybaby.
Yeah.
Don't tell nobody.
Come on, I ain't gonna do that. Thank you, Dreamer. Thank you, Dreamer. Yeah, but with that being said,
Well,
bro, like my brother said, I'm thoroughly impressed, man.
Well, I
You
truly
know?
appreciate that. Like seriously, like
Yes.
I'm impressed with you guys too, and I understand your life happens, dog. You don't never have to apologize because things can happen on the drop of a dime. So you know
Yes,
what I
sir.
mean. So that's understandable. I'm glad you're here now, so I can at least get to say a couple of words to you. Anything that you want to ask me or whatever, you know what I mean. Go right ahead. But I like I said, I do this because I love to do it. I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for none of the stuff like that. I do it because I love it and I just love entertaining people. Like, hey, like seriously, I never took an acting class in 9 years. I learned how to character develop and all that on my own. Like I never paid anyone to teach me how to do this at all. You can do it if you put the hard work in. If you have the determination to want to perfect your crafts, do independent film, and you learn how to character develop from like this. So that'll prepare you when you do an audition for a major motion picture or a major television show. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
So I don't believe in paying an actor or actress that's no longer in the industry $5,000 that's not no longer working in the industry. That says something. So
Yeah.
it's just if you want to do this, you can learn it on your own. I know plenty of people that never took acting classes as well, and they're just as successful. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so you just got to put the work in. Like everybody says, nothing comes easy. If you want it bad enough, you'll do what you can do to make it. You know what I mean? Like
Yes, sir.
again, like what you said earlier, no excuses. There's nobody stopping you in your life but yourself. When every time you say I can't, you're the one saying you can't. Nobody else saying it. You're the one saying it. See what I'm saying? So it makes no sense to me whatsoever.
So,
You know,
Diezel, what movies are you currently working on now?
working
Or
on raw power, working on the heist, working on a television series for Amazon Prime TV called Paper, Rise to the Top, where I play a right hand man and enforcer to a mob boss. Um, the Laundromat starts production in Philadelphia. That's another mob film where I play an Hispanic. I get to speak Spanish in this one. Hispanic enforcer for Cuban drug lord. So,
hey, hey,
so I get a lot
Yeah,
of
right
bad
up
guy.
my
I get
alley,
a lot of
boy. Yeah.
I get a lot of bad guy, tough guy roles because of my size and my
Puerto
age.
Rican, Cuban, it's all the same thing. We in the
Yeah,
same family.
Espanol.
I'm just excited to be able to speak Spanish in a movie. Like I get to speak dialogue in Spanish with the other co-stars, so that's pretty exciting for me.
Good,
So
good, good. That's man. So where can we where can the people that's listening, where can the viewers find your work,
At the
so
movie,
to speak?
at the movie
Yeah.
theater.
No, no, I'm not talking.
on social
Yeah,
media, you can find me
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
can find me
Better than
on
the next movie closest to you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you can find
That's
me
a
on
fact.
Instagram, Luke underscore Cage underscore 77. Twitter, same thing. Luke
Yes, sir.
underscore Cage underscore 77. Diezel Ramos with a Z. I'm the only Diezel Ramos on Facebook. You can find me easily. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, you can find me on TikTok too. I have TikTok, but I use that for fun. That's nothing huge or major. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can find me at Luke. Same thing, Luke Cage
Matter of fact,
77.
hey, you know what's crazy about this whole union right here? I hate TikTok, to be honest. It's getting on my every last nerve. And it's just a social media. But it's another platform for me to use my voice the way that I do, right?
That's
Among
right.
the other platforms, including this one. However, what I will say about TikTok is every amazing situation that I'm in right now has been a result of TikTok.
How about that?
The sit down,
How
Diesel,
about that?
happened because I was going hard in the paint on someone. I met Malik, and he introduced me to Oran. They interviewed me for their magazine,
Hey,
and then they were like, "Shit, we
when I
about to do a whole show with you."
when I
So
seen her on TikTok and she was going ham on somebody, I had first of all I had to salute her and I had to respect it. You know what I mean?
I said
So I
that
ended
I
up,
did the same exact thing. She went in
bro.
on somebody, And I was like, oh my God. Like, even with her little attitude that she got, when she throws, the good part about her is, the funny part about her, she does it subtly, where she throws her glasses down right here at the bridge of her
Oh
eyes.
yeah.
And when
Oh
she's
yeah.
speaking to you, she's like this. She's looking at you up here and then like doing glasses, but looking dead at you. She put her
Yeah.
foot solidly in your behind, like
Yes,
without you
sir.
even
Yes,
realizing.
sir.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
So
But the crazy thing is that's where I met Diezel too. Is on TikTok. We have been communicating. I didn't even know who he was. Like,
bro, as soon as I got in touch with her, I was like, yo, listen, this is my name, this is what I do, this is my program, this is my movement, and I'm trying to do this, and I need you on board. I need to interview.
But you know the good thing about Lady Dito, she didn't know I was an actor,
I
so
did
she
not.
didn't. That stuff didn't bother. Like we vibed before she even knew that I was at like on like my success. So that was even better
Yeah, we were
because
communicating
she
for a
didn't
couple
care about
months,
it.
and then he happened to tell me, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, man.
It didn't phase her. See what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So those people you gotta cherish
Mute
people
me.
like that.
Mute
You
me.
know what I mean?
About to
So
fire you. About to fire him. I muted him. I can't with these guys tonight. They know they're
I
gonna get the
wanted to
right.
tell them before we go that I'm gonna give my 29th of May, right? 29th of May. I'm
Yeah, so
gonna
I
make
need to
sure that
figure
it's
out.
free. That's gonna make sure that I'm free, and I'm gonna go help you guys the food thing in Brooklyn.
Yeah, to sit there. For those who are watching, what we're talking about is Constant Dons is doing a home feeding the homeless in Brooklyn, back in Malik and Oran's hometown, and Diesel's in the Bronx. I'm in California, LA girl. Diesel hates LA, by the way.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're all gonna be out there. Malik, you weren't here. Diesel said that he wants to come on the 29th when we do the feeding.
Big brother Malik, is that cool? Because I can let my management team know I'm gonna be gone for the 29th.
Yes, sir. Please pull up.
I
Love to have
got
you.
you. I
Yes, sir.
got you.
Man.
Definitely,
Yeah,
I love
so
to
I'm
do
gonna
that.
do the feeding with y'all, and then y'all gonna give me the Brooklyn tour, and then on Sunday he gonna give me the Bronx tour, and I'm gonna want to move to New York. I already know. I'm just
Yeah, you're
saying.
gonna want
Hey.
to after you hear it. Trust me, you're gonna want to come over here. Like real talk.
Look, everyone
That
think
ain't
I'm
no
from New
good.
York anyway, so I might as well, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're welcome to
I'm in
come over here.
Texas. Yeah, I'm in Texas right now. I left New York last year, October.
Bring your swag back, like over
Oh
here.
man, you know that. You know
You know what
that.
I mean?
You know
Yeah,
that.
they both got
You
that New York. I
know
don't care where they
that.
live. Oh, Ron, the one that just stepped away, he's in Florida, but they still New York all day, every day.
Right.
Yeah, you can take them out of New York, but you can't take New York out of them.
Nah.
There you go. Like seriously, the
But
Hey,
yeah,
boogie
so
that
we.
rocks
everywhere.
me. I was
Hey,
boogie that rocks
everywhere.
me all day, every day. Like
Yeah,
I was, you know
everywhere.
where I was born? Bronx River Projects, the birthplace of hip hop.
That's right. Cool Herc.
Bronx River Projects.
Cool Herc, baby.
African Bambaataa, all of them. Like
Yes,
yes.
sir. Yeah,
Yep.
So
bro.
listen, we have like about 20 minutes left of the show, and I wanted to get your one, give you the platform to do this, and two, if you choose to, and ask you, what your views are of the state and condition of our nation right now, with the police killings, with the racism, with whatever is filling your heart right now. Share that with us.
Well, being mixed, being triracial, I go through all of it. Like you know what I'm saying? Where they say, "Oh, you're white. You shouldn't feel like you're 50% white because your mother's Italian. You shouldn't feel." I said, "My mother's Sicilian. My mother has black in her blood. So do I. So that's not an excuse. I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? So they're saying that, oh, you're an actor. You shouldn't feel like this. You shouldn't have a say so. I'm like, just because I act doesn't mean I don't suffer through racism. Just LeBron James is a multi-millionaire, and he had the word nigger written on his house. So you really think just because we're successful that we don't go through racism still? Like, where does that logic come from? You know what I mean? To me, like, don't get me wrong. Like, my best friends, my brother's pure Italian. I have friends that are white, and they're amazing people. I love them to death. I even call them the N word because that's how I think. I think of them as brothers, right? Okay. That being said, that's that side. But for some people to just say, you shouldn't feel like this, right? Because my ancestors did it to you guys way back when. Yeah, but some ancestors that went through that, of their ancestors, they're still alive today. So they still suffering from the fact that what their ancestors went through, and for you to say that they shouldn't feel this way, you have no right to. First of all, because you're the ones that put that situation upon us. That's point blank period. You started from when you came to this land. This land was already inhabited by Indians. You took the Indians, you slaughtered them to take the land. That's number one. You brought us over here, right, to do the work for you because you're too lazy to do it yourself. So you just you got to easy to bring us over and we'll just, yes, sir, master, and we'll do this and do that for you, right? Means though we built this whole country. Without us, you wouldn't have this country. That's number two. And number three, who built the Capitol? Who built the White House? If I'm not mistaken, it was brothers. I'm not mistaken, right? Like, so literally, this country belongs to the Indians and the African Americans because why? We built this. Y'all just came and inhabited the place. You know what I'm saying? So you're saying that we should go back to where we came from? No. Take your sorry behind back to Europe where you came from because this land was never yours in the first place. So when you're trying to talk that trash, saying this, that, and the third, remember where you came from because it wasn't here. It
Right.
wasn't here. See what I'm saying? And the whole cop thing is coming like that sickens me to no end. The reason I say that is because if Dylan Roof could go inside a church full of brothers and sisters and shoot and kill them, and you get taken in the car because you surrendered them, niggas take you to Burger King? Like, wait, where? Now you taking to go? Literally drove him to the Burger King to get something to eat. Like, you just killed 9 people, innocent people. So you deserve a meal, right? That's what you're saying. So that's what we're doing now.
That's
You
what
know
we're
what I
doing.
mean? You know what I'm saying? And then the girl killing the brother in the car with his girl and the kid in the car. How do you mistake a taser for a gun?
Yeah,
I don't
Dante, right.
understand that. I don't. That's something that I don't understand. Why is it that you drove your gun in the first place? You shouldn't have to have drawn your gun or a taser because he didn't do anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? Brown, he got shot in the back of the head. Explain that. How did he get a bullet in the back of his head? I'm just trying, with his hands on the steering wheel. How did he get a bullet in the back of his head? It went straight out through the front of his head. I don't understand. So you're telling me that white guys could just do whatever they want, try to stab a cop, try to run him over with a car, try to drive off with them in a car, right? Pull guns. Kyle Rittenhouse held the AR-15 AR-15 after he killed 2 people and wounded another, walking around the town still with a gun in his possession. But every one of those instances, all them people lived. But the brothers and the sisters, they die on the scene. So it's shoot first, ask questions later when it comes to us. But if it's your skin color, oh, we gotta diffuse the situation. There's something we could do about it. But your guns are never drawn when you're going into that situation. But when your guns are always drawn when you're dealing with us. So what does that say? So your taught mentality, right, to shoot the African Americans and Hispanics on sight. But when it comes to your kind, they get a pass. Whether they got a gun in their hand, whether they got a knife in their hand, whether they're trying to run you over with their car, they get a pass. Because notice in every single instance, none of them get their gun none of them get guns drawn on them. None of them. None. But every time they come up to a brother or sister, oh, you're taking out your gun, huh? What did I do to deserve that? Really? That's what we're doing?
Right. I just seen 2 videos yesterday, and I was so heated. There was, I think, a 68-year-old woman. I think she may have been 68, 70, gray hair, and
they pulled her out of a car.
Man, they pulled her by her hair, grabbed her braids, pulled her, slammed her to the ground, and then Another brother, he wasn't even the suspect they were looking for, and they picked him up and slammed him, broke his wrist, handcuffed him with the broken wrist. He's screaming, and oops, it was the wrong guy. It's just it's every day, all day. And after I spoke to you the other day, I posted it. I need to post it on Facebook too. But and let's just make this really, really like paint the picture. Since George Floyd has died, 181 black individuals have been killed by police.
Exactly.
181. Now, right now, they're only talking about 4 or 5 on the news, but there's 181 individuals who are dead since George Floyd. All that protesting, all that stuff that's been done, burning up 2 buildings, all that shit, and 181 have died. And since the Chauvin case, since he was convicted, the day he was convicted, 64 have been killed. 3 a day. 3 a day have died. 3 a day have died since George Floyd died. And the 64 out of the 64 since the verdict, over half of them have been brown and black. It's just and then people only want to notice like the names at the bottom of my screen right now, right?
But the worst part that the worst part about that is people that vindicate the police for doing their job, for like killing us. Like that 13-year-old boy, right? He literally came around the corner and did like this, and the cop shot him in the chest twice, killed him on the spot. Seen that one? Remember that one? The Spanish kid? Remember that? You know what I'm saying? So that one, and even the 16-year-old girl, she was protecting. What were you gonna do with a knife? And the first thing that came out of my mouth was that he had his gun already drawn when he came out the car. When he was out the car, his gun was drawn. Not no taser, but a gun. So his mentality was he was going to shoot her regardless because she had a knife in her hand. Let that be somebody else of a different, have a knife in their hand and be like, put the knife down, put the knife down. Tell them, I'm gonna tase you. Yeah, but they shot the gun in the back 4 times, killed. Like you see the balance in all this. There's no balance in it. There's not one little. There's none. You know what I'm saying? What it is right. They know that we're going to overtake the United States in race. So what they're trying to do? They're trying to control that by killing us off. It's systematic. They know what's going on because you even hear the cops talking about this. Cops talking about. You hear them they're so stupid. They keep their cameras on talking about. Oh, I'll kill a nigga. Like one dude pulled over a white person. He said, "Oh, we don't kill white people. We kill blacks." Nigga,
I seen that. Yeah, I seen that video.
You see that?
Ryan, we was just talking about how, since George Floyd died, 181 black individuals have been killed since George Floyd died. That's 3 a day since George Floyd got killed last year. Yeah. And 64 have been shot and killed since the verdict just a couple weeks ago. And it's just insane.
And they say
they're afraid.
And I was
when you get senators like
we can't hear you, Orion.
When you get senators like Graham Cracker, like Kelsey, you know what I mean? Kelsey Graham Cracker. Graham Cracker. Yeah. There's no systematic racism in the United States. The United States isn't racism. Go ahead with your Graham Cracker self because you're white. You could see that. Like,
that was crazy because it was crazy. It was crazy for me to sit and listen to Senator Tim Scott, the only black senator, Republican senator, say America is not racist. And then it was even more crazy knowing her position. Okay, so CDL, before you jump in and
don't make me get Kamala here. I will take her head off.
Ho! Before you jump in and go for the sister head. It's crazy that not only Tim Scott, who is a Republican, the only black Republican senator, said that the United States is not a racist country. Then, our sister Kamala Harris comes back because of her position and says that America is not inherently racist, a racist country. And of course,
but you know what that's funny? You know what's funny about that?
Hold on one sec, Diezel.
Hold on, my brother. He had to sit down. We always say that the power is in the truth. People say we speak truth to power, but the power, to me, the power is in the truth. And so many people, they don't want to hear the truth, and then they don't want to tell the truth. Okay. To say that the United States is not inherently racist, okay, this country was founded on the genocide of a particular person at one time. Let's just say that. Let's start with the Indians, but we know in doing research, African Americans were here first. But let's talk about the Indians. So they found this country on that, and then they enslaved the whole race of people. And they did it to the Irish who came over here as well. So to suggest that the United States of America is not racist, it's a slap in the face, and it's a total disrespect to every decent and common, person of color, being you Latino, African American, or just person of color in this country. And it's sad that this is where we've come to in this country, that so many would rather have other conversations. Oh, here they go again. Why do they have to talk about this? Why do they talk about that? Oh, they're race-based. And we don't race-bait. What we do is we know that the truth, there's power in the truth. And we only give our viewers the truth. We want to arm them and give them that power to say, hold on a second. What y'all saying over there don't sound right, because we did the research and we trust our brothers and our sisters that come on every Monday and Thursday. So that's all I wanted to say, because I did have a problem with Kamala saying, being in her position as a woman of color and a vice president, she couldn't come out and say that. But at what point in time are we going to be honest with ourselves, and she's going to be honest, and Joe Biden is going to be honest, and say what this country really is? But take off, my brother. I just wanted to throw that in.
No, Chad. I'm really sorry to interrupt you when you was making the statement.
No, brother. I'm honored that you're here. But take off.
What I was going to say was, to make it worse, Kamala Harris, she couldn't have not said anything at all, didn't say what she said, because literally as we speak, there's sundown states. Sundown states is, I know what you know what sundown states are. There's states in the United States where African American cannot be out in the middle of the night to fear about being killed, beaten, or locked up.
Yep.
That's literally, it says it on the sign in the state where you're going to. This is a sundown state. So when you say there's no racism, there's no systematic racism in the United States, you're either blind, right, or stupid. That's one of the, so 9 times out of 10, these people are saying that. They're doing it for clout, to try to be like, oh my God, no, this is not. And for Tim Scott to try to throw his little, his childhood trauma, right, and to say later, there's no systematic race. This United States isn't a racist country. You just contradicted yourself. So what is it going to be, dog? Is it you went through racism, but the country's not racist? Like I'm trying, just like Candace Owens. Candace Owens said there's no racism.
She's a mess.
Yet, but when you was in college, you sued a mayor's son for calling you a nigger for $25,000. So wait, racism wasn't then, but it's not now. So what is it, Candace? Like,
she's staying in the business that pays her.
Oh yeah, of course. I don't like to say the word coon, but yeah, there are a lot of coons out there, boy. Seriously, and they do it for money. That's it.
Yes.
Like seriously, because none of these people, they can talk all they want to, like the Meghan McCains of the View, all these little dingleberries that's out there right now. You can say whatever you want. You never lived in any one of our lives. You never lived in any one of our skins to go through what we went through. Because if we did, you won't be talking to trash. You be talking. See what I'm saying?
Right.
I could take somebody to the middle of the Bronx where there's nothing but people sleeping on the street. They'll look at me, they'll be like, oh my God. Yeah, I've seen that. I've lived that. You never did. Why? Because you had a silver spoon in your mouth the whole time. From the time you was in your mother's womb to the time you got out. And now you're complaining about, no, why people are coming against Tim Scott. Tim Scott shouldn't have said what he said.
That was really crazy is that he also talked about how the many times he has been pulled over and racially profiled and pulled over. But then you in one side of your mouth you're saying that you're racially profiled and pulled over and you know what I'm saying? And then on the other hand you're talking about there's no racism in America.
But
then you also want to admit that there's systemic racism, but it's not inherently racist. But you already know Kamala Harris is a racist because she don't even like her damn self. So don't get me started on her.
Lady D, you know what the funny part about Rick Scott is? Like, he's the Republican Party savior. They think that he's going to save the Republican Party. They want him to run for presidency.
He's the token party savior.
They think that because him, oh my God, we got the token black. Here we go, man. We're going to get our power back to him. When he's stupid enough to get fought for that stupidity. See what I'm saying? Instead of being smart enough as an educated black man to see they're using you because they want power. They don't care about the American people. They can care less. They'd rather see the homeless people starve and die. They'd rather see the poor die. The only thing they care about is the money in their pockets. Every rich one of them crackers on there, every one of them, from Matt Gates, Cracker Graham Cracker, from Moscow McConnell, like all of them, you know what I'm saying? Like
Moscow
McConnell. Cracker. That's a new one.
Moscow McConnell. Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just they don't care about none of us. And for Tim Scott to be oblivious to that and just side with them on that like that. And when you hear the Republican Party talk about Tim Scott, he's like the second coming of sliced bread. You hear how they talk about him? Oh my God, he's the future of the Republican Party. We're so glad that he's on our side. Nigga, you just, Tim, you're not smart enough to see that? Even a blind man, Stevie Wonder's blind, he can see that a million miles away. Like, seriously, dog, how stupid can you be? You know what I'm saying? I just can't. Like, seriously, this whole thing with dingleberryism, I just can't. Like, there's dingleberries everywhere, and I just lose my mind. The reason I say stupid words because I don't curse in my real life. I'm sorry. I just don't. But that's just words. I just can't think of words to come out of my mouth to call these people because it's just stupidity on a tremendous scale. Like, they don't even belong on this planet. They belong on a planet called stupidity because that's where all of them need to be. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't see through the racism, you can't see how we're suffering through what we're going through on a regular basis every single day. I wear a Black Lives Matter mask everywhere I go. I die. And the reason I do that is because Black Lives Matter, right? But I dare somebody tell me, I dare somebody would say something to me negative about my mask. I would hit them so hard, the grandkids will feel it for the next 10 generations. That's just
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Share with us why you don't curse.
Oh, when my daughter was born, I cursed like a drunken sailor. So I promised God, I said, God, if you're giving me a beautiful baby, whatever baby, boy or girl, I promise I will never curse again. So for 23 years, I have not cursed. I have cursed in movies and TV series, yes. But in my regular life, I never cursed. I haven't said a curse word literally in 23 years.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's profound.
So when I say, so fellas, when I say good gravy or cheese and crackers, I'm surrounded, that's me cursing. That's the most you're going to get of a curse. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
So what did graham cracker stand for?
Graham cracker. Like, his name is Chelsea Graham. So
okay.
He's white, so
sorry.
Graham cracker.
Yeah, Moscow McConnell is Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, Moscow McConnell, yes. Same thing with looking like Kermit the Frog. Like, hey, man.
Oh, I looked at it tonight. I'm like, his joint is looking like he's tying his shirt and his collar's buttoned real tight. I'm thinking like breathe, bro.
Ribbit.
Like he like a turkey neck. Like he like breathe. Like you have to suffocate, man. I want to button this shirt on, man.
Ladies, check this out.
About Tim Scott?
This panel right here, just right here alone. Right?
Hold on, I can't hear you over Malik. Hold on.
Can you imagine this panel right here, just us four? Can you imagine if we was in charge of the White House?
What?
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all want to include me in that one. I'm the one that's gonna push the button.
You know what you said? You have to be a Minister of Defense. Like, that's it. Seriously,
no, brother, no. We love her. No. We would be at war every day. There would be war in the streets. There would be. You think we got guns now? It'll be bodies in the streets.
I would
We
write
love
an
our
executive
system.
order that every American has at least 2 guns. That would be my first executive order.
See, we going.
Convict or not.
Bro, you see
You
what you
said
done,
convict
bro?
tonight.
See what you did? No, we
Yeah, I
love
see what I
our
just
sister.
did.
That's our queen.
We wouldn't
But-
have a civil rights movement. We'd have a civil war if I was in.
Exactly, and we don't need that. You know
Yes,
what I
we
mean?
do.
People trying to live.
Yeah, we do.
We still would be fair and upright and do things with dignity and have character. But
And still get killed every day.
It's a lot of this stuff that's happening today with education, unequal pay, all this stuff that's going on with the police, us killing us in the streets. It'd be a thing of the past. It wouldn't even be happening, okay? Because the
Okay.
land will be plentiful. It would be plentiful. The land will be plentiful. But we will not have our sister as the minister of defense. You be dead, I'll be dead, Malik will be dead. It won't even be
I'm
right.
more rational than you guys think. I would
Hey.
try alternate methods first.
Malik, talk to
Nah, no,
that
you
man.
wouldn't.
Talk
As soon
to that
as soon
man.
as he
Talk to
said
that
it,
brother.
as soon as the brother said it, she said, I'm pushing the button. That's the first thing she
What'd
said.
she
I'm
say? Out the
pushing the
gate.
button.
Okay,
Off the rip,
actually,
I'm
my
pushing the
first
button.
plan of action would be to name. I'd have an executive order to name all of these crackers, graham crackers, and s'mores as hate and terrorist groups. That's the first thing I
Oh
would
God.
do. I know
That's
I
what
would
they
name them
are.
as
That's what
terrorist
they-
groups because they don't have a. They're
That's
not
what
named
they
as
are.
terrorist groups. That's what
They
they are.
know. Listen, they know exactly what they're instilling in the people. You understand? Emotionally and mentally. They know they took a page from the Ku Klux Klan book with the white sheets, come out at night in the dark. You understand? With your horses and you got a torch and you're burning crosses. If that doesn't instill fear in some, I mean, gangsters fear. You understand? I know
Okay.
killers that have fear.
They
Professional
laughing
boxers,
at
Mike
me like
Tyson,
calling the people
that have
s'mores.
fear. But right, there's no man on
Hold
the
on,
planet that has
people,
any
hold on a
sense.
second. 1 second.
Big
Salam
brother,
alaikum. 1
let's
second.
get this
1
out.
second. Salam alaikum. Salam alaikum. Brother,
Salam.
it was a pleasure to meet you. I'm sure we're gonna meet in person because I have to go. I'm sure we're gonna meet in person.
Yeah, our show's
Yeah.
actually over. Right? We're
I
over.
salute. No. Y'all stay on. Because I really have to go. I salute you on everything you're doing. We are going to meet in person, man. I support you 101%. If you have contact with our sister, anytime you need us, just call us. If you need us to be the B list, because you the A list, man, because you with your production company, we'll come in and we're gonna walk past you and say, okay, hey, Mr. Such and such and such, you think you all, you know what I mean? We're gonna do a reverse like you did to
We're gonna be like, oh, that's
Okay.
just Ramos. That's just
That's
Diezel
just
I'm gonna-
Ramos over there.
But I'm gonna see you guys on the 29th because I'm coming to help you guys out in the Bronx.
Okay, we got you. Hey, CDL, to the family, to the viewers, I love y'all. I gotta go. I have to go. You got your brother and your sister here. I'm gonna salute you, brother, and we'll get up soon. Malik, salam alaikum. CDL, I'll hit you later.
Thanks a lot, bro.
Well,
I got each other.
Big brother,
Yeah, I
Malik,
got to
before
tune
I
out
go,
too in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, no, actually, our show is over right now. We've actually never went over before. We usually are early, but our show
Big
is
brother,
over.
Malik, before I bounce, I have to say this. The year 2032, remember that year. Why? Because that year is when the white people become the minority and the Hispanics and the blacks become the majority.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's been fair for the last 10 plus years, bro.
Just saying.
That's what.
Just saying.
That's an absolute fact because that's what they've been fearing for the last 10 plus years. They saw it coming. They see it coming. You understand? That's why the Republicans. That's why the Republicans is going so hard. That's why Donald Trump began to pitch the lie about the stolen votes and the recount before election day, January last year. Before the election, he was on the campaign trail talking about if I lose, it's because the election was rigged.
Yeah, of course.
He set it up from that. See, the thing about these people, real quick, man, they don't just do things sporadically.
Oh, it's systematic.
Calculated.
Systematically. Now, if you read the book by Ralph Epperson called The Unseen Hand, you will. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, get the book by Ralph Everson, the Caucasian man, my homie. It's called The Unseen Hand. And in this book, there's a chapter in there where they describe everything that they do. It's in 10-year increments. So they would mean that they plan things. So if this is 2021, they already know what they're going to do in 2020 and 2011.
I mean, exactly. Just like with the pandemic. That's why you seen Obama put the pandemic task force together before the pandemic hit, because they already knew it was going to happen.
Listen, get the book. I had to give the book away. I had the book when I was in the pen. I had to give the book. It's about this big, about 500 some pages. I had to give it away. I could not keep that book. That book and the Sundown Town by James Lowen. Sundown Town. I had to get rid of them books. And definitely, I had to get rid of them. I could not keep them in my library anymore. I couldn't.
Wow.
So you absolutely
correct.
correct.
I just want to, when I go see you guys in Brooklyn, I want to talk to you guys about doing just like a 45-minute documentary about your cause. You.
Thank you. Bro. We appreciate that.
Lady D.
Yes, sir.
Him, like, oh, the whole call. Like the whole, you know what I mean? Work something out, like film for like a week. And we'll put it together and give it to film festivals and let them get awareness of your organization. You know what I'm saying? I think
Appreciate
people need to know about your organization as well. So
appreciate it. But
anything I can do to help, anything I can do to help you guys, just let me know.
And right back at you, bro. We just complain by the way.
Our Irish brother said, "Damn it, Malik, I'm gonna have to get I have to start a bookshelf named What Malik Said." You ain't seen my bookshelf either then.
Salute to No Fiction, salute to Dreamer, everybody that tuned in, Lily Greedy. Brother, you have the last word, brother.
Well, I just want to let everybody know now I'm honored and privileged when I get to do podcasts, but I was really, really inspired and I'm really honored to do this one because we touched on a lot of topics, but I always want to let everybody know, right? Trust in yourselves. Live without no limitations because you're the only person standing in your way. You can be successful. You can do anything you want to do in life, no matter the disability, no matter the trials and tribulations, no matter what you've been through in your life. The only person telling you can't do it is yourself because nobody else around you is telling you can't. So think about what I just said, right? Follow God because God is always your guide. He's always going to lead you in the right direction. Follow good people like Malik, Lady D. Just follow people that have good hearts, right? Have good standing and care about one another. That's what we lack in the United States. People that just care generally about people that barely know each other. Because if we all came together and we all cared about one another, this world, not even just this country, this world will be a totally different scenario. See what I'm saying? So always live on the premise that I can. Never say I can't. And know that you're always going to be loved no matter what. No matter if I know you personally or not. I'm always going to care. I'm always going to love. No matter what it is, if I can do to help anyone of you guys, just let me know. All right? And always stay true to yourself. Never think you're better or above anybody else in your life. Never.
Amen to that.
Hey, with that being said, from one of the viewers, Rico James, he said thank you for the inspiration, Diezel. I thank you as well. Hey, listen. With that being said,
Diezel my new BFF, so I'm his new stalker and BFF, so I'm tripping.
Yes.
Like I said, Malik, Big Brother Malik, anything you guys need on my end, you know what I mean? We could actually film when we're doing the thing for the homeless. Like whatever you guys need, let me know. I got you covered.
Yeah. We'll be in contact, you understand? I'm gonna give CDL, she can give you my number. But primarily I really appreciate the offer of the cons and dons and the movement that we're trying to get going. But primarily I just want to see CDL's the idea that you have for her. I just want to see that come to fruition because when I met her, I told her I had to interview her because I don't know no one, man or woman, that's been through half of what she's been through. You understand? Right. And then came out the way she's come out. Because if you look at her and self, and then you get to know her, you would not think that she's been through the things that she's been through. And it goes back to the age old saying, never judge a book by its cover.
Yep.
Never judge the book by the cover, man. So with that being said, I just want to support my sister and getting, the ideas that you came with to get her story out there and whatever way you can do it, because it's just like I told my aunt about, my aunt is blown away by her. She's 76 years old and she watches the sit down because of CDL. She continues to watch the sit down because of CDL. I forgot to tell you that.
Wow.
I forgot to tell you that. She watches the sit down. This is the one that I had to in the form where you gave the link how to get on watch sit down.
You gonna make me cry.
Her and her sister, they're in their 70s. They watch the sit down, right? Not because of their nephew, but because of CDL.
Nice.
That's a fact.
Well, shout out to them and tell them that I love them.
Well, like I said, a story like hers cannot not be told. It is going to be told.
It can't be. It has to be. We can work on the constant dawn. We can work on constant dawns and the sit down movement and this whole thing here later. I want to see her situation, become.
Oh, it will.
We're gonna do it all at once. I'm still writing my book, so we can do it all.
Yeah. I gave her my word. I gave her my word. We're going to do her thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So with that being said, brother, CDL, give the brother my contact. Once I get them off the sit down, I'm gonna eat. I haven't eaten since 5:30 this morning. I'm gonna call the sister back. Yes, sir.
Yeah, is it still Ramadan? Is it still Ramadan?
Yeah, Ramadan is. I just drank my first jug of water since 5:30 this morning, but Ramadan ends on May 12th.
Okay.
That's the last
Hey, my birthday is next Saturday, so everybody need to remember that.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, the 8th. I ain't forget.
Hey.
I ain't forget. I ain't forget. So with that being said,
all right, you guys. Wait, just real quick, I just want to say, Diezel, thank you for being a light in my life and showing me the love that you do.
You needed that. Yeah.
I'm not going to talk much because you guys all got me emotional behind the aunties, you know what I'm saying? There's just been a lot of people moving me lately, and it's just a lot. And I appreciate everybody. And the people in the chat support me. Y'all support me all the time, every time. And I love y'all too.
Well, you're one of those colors in the rainbow, Lady D. So we got to cherish you as such. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Thank you. Much respect to y'all, man.
With that being Lavery, Tyrani Woodley, Dreamer, Cyborg, Roby, Rabbi, everybody that tuned in, Sam, everybody that tuned in, the regulars to the irregulars to the the one just now tuning in, we thank you for tuning into the sit down where the truth is told and real stories unfold. Once again, thank you to our guest, the brother Diezel, man. Thank you for the work that you do, bro. Thank you for your success, man, and thank you for your passion, bro. We definitely appreciate it. God bless you. And anything that we can do on to assist you from the bottom up, she's just a phone call away, and we just a plane ride away.
Thank you, big dog. I appreciate that.
Yes,
all right, love, peace, and hair grease.
You know it. All right.